Hello again, boys and girls. I'd like to talk a little bit about what a tarot card reading is really doing, why this works so well. And I think if you see that, it puts a lot of clarity on what you're doing, knowing why it's working, and what's the best way to go about making it a useful thing to do. Instead of just saying what the cards mean, that's not really going to help most situations. But finding ways to come up with some real advice can be very beneficial. So a tarot card reading is a collection of fresh ideas. That's really what it is. It's a collection of fresh ideas that pertain to some objective or goal you're trying to achieve or trying to accomplish, or some answer you're trying to find about some situation in your life. And it allows you to see ideas that you didn't see before you sat down with the cards. And that has real value to it. And that's really what I think these cards do for you. So, it's just a deck of 78 ideas that can be looked at. Suggestions. What about this? What about that? And if it's a negative card, if you see a negative card in there, failure is not an option in a card reading. So we're not interested in failure. We know we could fail. That's something I'm interested in finding out. I'm looking for my best advantages to succeed in something. And so how do I give myself the best chance of success with this? How do I act? What do I do here to put myself at the best advantage to make this happen? Whatever that happens to be, we're looking into. And I think that has a lot of value too. So if there's a negative card in there, you could look at that as something that you need to overcome or to face and to beat in some way to make this happen. What advantages would if you bring me back the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West, and if you do that, you really put yourself in a strong position on this objective you're trying to accomplish, whatever this happens to be. If you could accomplish this, and it wouldn't be easy to do, maybe, but whatever that is, this challenge that you're seeing, this negative, if you could take this on and beat it, you put yourself in a better position. And then you could look at the rest of the card spread as, how am I going to go about to do this? And you could find a lot of ways to accomplish a lot of great things by doing that. Again, these are just ideas, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. But if it does work, you found it because of the tarot cards. So it's a collection of ideas, and it's a very, very useful application. And it deals with rational thinking, and it also deals with intuition. So you're using both sides of the mind to find these ideas. The rational part of the reading is the map itself, the card spread. And the intuitive end of it, the creative side, is the cards that are laid into those positions as answers to those positions. And this sparks your intuition and your imagination to get innovative and creative in finding answers here. And that has value. And I like to look at a card reading that way instead of thinking my fate is here at the turn of a card. I don't believe in that. I never did. So I never used that. Also, I'd like to say that the question itself, whatever it is you're looking into, is also rational and intuitive on how you're looking at it. You can look at that question itself from a rational standpoint, logic, and also look at it as from an intuitive standpoint as far as the feasibility of what we're trying to accomplish here. Is this a bad idea? Or is this a good idea? How do you feel about it? So it really opens up a lot of doors for insight. So that's how I see what a card reading is really doing. I also like to talk about my keyword, quick reference keyword list. I made one of my videos before. I talked about where you can get that, and at the bottom of the screen here you'll see a link to patishi.com. That's my website. And if you go to the upper left corner, you'll see a heading that says Keyword Tarot Bookmark. You click on that, and you'll go to another page that has this PDF file of my quick reference list. And it's two up on a 8.5 by 11 sheet. You print it out once, turn the card over, turn the paper over, and print it on the other side, and it backs it up. Two up. You'll have two of them. And they're pretty useful. But what I wanted to talk about with this is that when you have a list like this of keywords, you'll find that you're constantly changing it here and there slightly as time goes on. And I have this thing in my book, both of my books, and here, Genius of the Tarot, A Guide to Divination with the Tarot. I have the High Priestess as the subconscious and hidden. I have the Hangman as sacrifice. I don't know if you can see that. Now, in Essential Tarot, Unlocking the Mystery, I have the Hangman as sacrifice again. That didn't change. I have the High Priestess as mystery. So as time goes on, you'll see certain words for certain cards. You're seeing it in a different way. A different word is going to work a little bit better for that card. And you'll constantly be tweaking it and adjusting it here and there. And I guarantee you, if you use this, my quick reference list, you'll find yourself doing that. There's nothing wrong with that. These are not correct answers. There's no such thing as a correct answer. They're one of many correct answers. Actually, there's no wrong answer. So it's just what I'm seeing at the time. And the Hangman's a good example of that. The Hangman right now I have as enlightenment on this. And yeah, the Hangman can be seen that way. If you make a total reversal of things, lots of times that will open up a lot of insight and awareness, looking at something in a different way that can be very enlightening. In my books I have it as sacrifice. And lots of times if you do change positions, there is a sacrifice there. But if you really feel strongly about something, you might be ridiculed for it, you might be persecuted for it. But, so it's a sacrifice. But I'm going to be changing that to the Hangman to reversal. And I think as you move forward with keywords, you'll find yourself constantly adjusting it, and you'll make adjustments that encompass the keyword you're using right now, but also more than that. And I see reversal better for the hangman than enlightenment or sacrifice. So I think it's a better definition or a better keyword. So you're not going to find them all but you will, as you go through life, you'll find words that work better on your journey through the tarot. And that's the best way to put it. This is what I have right now, and you're more than welcome to use them. And that's what they're there for. But they're more or less a starting point on your journey. And as you move forward, you're going to say, well, you know what, I don't really like the Fool as being believing. I like it being more something else. Or the hangman being enlightenment. Or whatever it happens to be. Major and minors. So I'm seeing the hangman as reversal now. I had one person suggest to me one of the meanings for the hangman would be a betrayal. And that's a good point. Hangman could be betrayal. But reversal encompasses betrayal. I like, betrayal is just a negative aspect there. And that puts a limitation on that card. So I like to look at it as reversal, where betrayal is a reversal, but there's all sorts of other reversals that might pertain more to your question. So it opens up the range better. And I think sacrifice, what I had before, that's one meaning, but I think reversal encompasses a lot more for that than sacrifice. So that's what you'll find yourself doing that with this, or any other list you probably get, any other source you get with keywords. You'll probably, as you start to use the cards, you'll be saying, you know, this card means this. I see this clearer this way than that way, and you'll be changing them to your own meanings, and that's fine, and that's what you should be doing. You don't really want to do a reading and say, well, Vince, you laying out cards and said, well, Vince says this card means sacrifice, or this card means mystery, or this card, because I'm not there doing the reading, you are. They want to know what you see in those cards. And what I like about keywords is that we all see different things in there, and they're all correct. I use the example, if you fives in the minor arcana. They mean to me change. So if I say to you in a class, I do this in the class, I say everybody there to write down 5 words that can be associated, or five sayings or words that can be associated with the word change. And everybody writes down 5 things. And then we'll share what we've written, and everybody has something different. So that's what I like about keywords. You're using your mind about how you see change. And maybe I'll write down change of heart, spare change, winds of change, New York Stock Exchange. I might alteration, adjustment. Everybody has their own words that they're going to use. If I say to you, think of a picture of a rose, a red rose, and I tell everybody in the room to think that, everybody's picture in their mind will be different of that rose. If I tell everybody think of a red rose, and I show a picture on a screen of a red rose, that picture on the screen will not be what was in your mind. Everybody has their own unique perceptions, and they're all wonderful, and they're all good, and they're all unique, and that's just what it makes you. And that has value in the way you're seeing somebody's question in a reading. and how you see these cards. So, keywords are very important. I think they are. To me, they are. And they allow you to really open up for your own meanings of the cards. And as far as the way what a card reading really is, I really do like the idea of, if you see negative in a card, in a reading, think of that as an opportunity on what I can do to change that negative into a positive in some way for me. And a card reading is a collection of ideas. And that's a good attitude to have on what a card reading is. Those are my thoughts, and that's what's worked for me. And I hope you like that, and keep throwing cards. Bye.